Hey, good evening. It's Friday evening, November 15th. Thanks so much for being here. I'm really excited tonight because we're going to be going into building off of this morning. We're going to be talking about the impact of the gospel in life. After all, we say we're building about the gospel. We are about the gospel. We're supposed to be preaching the gospel. But what does the gospel mean? The gospel means that God gives us hope. I want to give some specifics to that tonight. I want to get rid of churchy language and just to talk about the way that God made us. And what the gospel brings about is for us to function in the way that God made us and all the splendor and glory that He intended. Not just dull stuff, not just being done with the garbage and the sin, but embracing life the way God designed it to be. Your self-worth is connected to the gospel so that you can be what God made you to be. This is so cool. Excited to be playing Sharon Grover's magnificent music tonight. God is always everywhere. Catch the power of the song because it fits with the words of Psalm 8. Listen to Psalm 8 in light of the gospel, okay? I, Yahweh, our Lord. And Dale Ralph Davis's translation, which I'm reading from tonight, he uses Yahweh here because Yahweh means friend. So God is our friend, opening up to us the beauty of what we can be in His world. That is so cool. And something that we can embrace. And the gospel makes it possible for us to be all the wonderful things that He designed people to be. How majestic is your name on all the earth, where your splendor is recounted across the heavens. The beauty of God is shown everywhere, and the beautiful sunset behind me. Out of the mouth of children and infants, you have established strength on account of your foes, to put an end to the enemy and the one seeking revenge. This is quoted when Jesus is entering Jerusalem. God's power is such that children and infants have more power than the enemies of God. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have put in place. And the thumbnail tonight is a picture of the moon that I just took recently. Beautiful picture of the power of God and the sun reflecting off of it. The works of your fingers, the moon, the stars which you have put in place. What is man that you show concern for him? This isn't a negative statement. He's putting man in context of who he is. Putting you, me, people, men, women, children, infants, old folks. Old folks are important. He's putting those things in place. What is man that you should show concern for him? Why should God show concern for us? For this reason, right here in verse 5. You have made him a little less than God. Some say angels, but little less than God is a better translation. Why is that cool? Because we are made in the image of God. In the magnificent image of God, we are made. All the potential, the magnificent of what it means to be human. That's what this song is talking about. That's what Psalm 8 is talking about. You have made him a little less than God, and with glory and dignity you crown him. Human beings are a glorious and dignified people. Sin has screwed all that up and corrupted that and made it ugly and burnished. But the creation of man is glorious. And what Christ does, what the gospel does, is makes it possible to restore that dignity and glory again. As I said, we see it in the things that people do, the good works they do, the care, the loving kindness they do. Again, the beauty of this music. We see it in the sun behind us. We see it in artwork. Things that we're blown away with. That's what God designed us to be. You cause him to rule over the works of your hands. It's repeating Genesis 1 here. You cause him to rule over the works of your hands. You have placed everything under his feet, meaning all of us, people. Sheep and oxen, all of them, even the wild animals, the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea. Whatever passes through the paths of all the seas, you've given people, men, women, the race of men, dominion over all of that. The gospel makes it possible to reclaim all of that. That is so special. See what's happening here? The gospel lets us be what God made us to be. We can be free of the garbage, the sin that pulls us down, that causes us to get mucked up in relationships, that causes us to feel sorry for ourselves, that causes us to lose sight of what God has made us to be. Each of you watching is made in the image of God and has something beautiful and special to do. And the gospel can unlock that for you so that we can be the glorious, dignified creature that God has made us to be, and the special talents and abilities, not shaped by humans or people or education, but shaped by what God has made in you. That's the gospel and self-worth. That's joy. That's hope. So the psalm ends the way it begins, a common tactic and design in Hebrew poetry. Yahweh our Lord, our friend, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Wow. We have worth because of what God has made us to be, and the gospel unlocks that. It doesn't restrict us to church and rules and regulations. It unlocks us to know the beauty of God in everything that we're about. And that's exciting. And that's the thought for this night. Your self-worth is unlocked by the gospel. Thanks so much for being here. Check us out at everydaytalk247.com. Subscribe and turn on the post notifications. Thank you so much for being here. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the morning. You have a great night, rejoicing in the beauty of the gospel. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.